Crew is back, man. Today, we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to switch it up a little bit, guys. We're going to talk some stuff that has nothing to do with anything that you saw in preseason so far. Maybe it does have a little bit. We might be able to tie it in there. But before we get down to the nitty gritty and get to the fun part of the show, I have to go through the formalities, guys. I want to thank you guys for checking us out here on the YouTube page. If this is your first time here, we hope you like what you see. And if you do, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that like button as well as the subscribe button, okay? You're going to want to turn on those little notifications so you know exactly when we do a live show, all right? You're not going to want to miss anything. We do breaking news and things like that, and that's all spontaneous according to whatever's happening in the 49ers universe. Make sure you guys check out the website as well. It is www.nothingbutniners.com. There you're going to see a bunch of great articles written by a bunch of great people. You're going to see a whole bunch of videos and pictures of people, your fellow faithful that have been submitted to us. You guys make sure you check that page out as well. You'll see the About Us, so you know all the people who are behind the scenes working hard to bring you guys quality 49ers content. All right, make sure you guys give us a social media follows as well, okay? We are Nothing But 9 ERS. That's the number 9. All right, make sure you give us a follow there. That's Twitter and Snapchat, Nothing But 9 ERS. And then we also have Facebook and Instagram, guys. Those are Nothing But Niners. That's spelled all the way out. There's spaces in between. You'll find us there. You'll like us there. And you'll see a bunch of pictures there that you're going to love. A bunch of conversations. That Facebook community, guys, is over 10,000 strong. If you're not in there, I don't know what you're waiting for. Do yourselves a favor, okay? Now, we have a bunch of people who are on the show tonight. We're going to talk 53-man roster predictions, okay? So I'm going to get these people popping up in here and everything. My man Nick is with me. He is 49er Faithful 365. That's all day, every day. What's going on, Nick? How you feeling over there, baby?
What's up, baby? It's good to have you back, man. It's good to have you back. We know we had a little quick emergency last night. You were going to jump on with myself and Croc, but, man, we held it down. You know, it's all good, but good to have you back, man.
Yeah, man, I'm happy to be back. I've been wanting to come in here and jump on with you guys all weekend, but I was out of town. I was out of the country at a bachelor's party. So I'm back now. I'm sober. Well, as sober as I can be. I'm way more sober than I was when last time you guys saw me on video when right after we beat the Cowboys. But I'm happy to be back, man. I've missed talking 49ers with you guys. So I'm looking forward to getting into this tonight.
Yeah, man. It's exciting. This should be fun. This should be fun. I'm kind of interested to see what our man, we got Perry in here tonight.
Let's pop him in there, my man Anthony Perry. He is at PERRY_NB9 on Twitter. Perry NB9. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on, guys? It's good to be here. Work went by pretty fast. I don't know what to say. I just can't wait to talk about the 53-man roster because I feel like a lot of us are going to have pretty differing opinions, and it should get pretty lively. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. It's really exciting. You know, cut downs are going to be happening soon already. So, man, this is it. You know, season is fast approaching. So, you know, I'm ready. Let's get it. We're all ready.
Absolutely, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. And last but certainly not least is the man Wayne Breezy in the building. You guys can see it over here. My man is hype. What's going on, Wayne? How you feeling, man?
Let's go. What's good, man? It's good to be here, man. Thanks for having me, guys. Let's talk. 53, 5-3, Bowman, Monster. Let's get it. Let's go.
I love it. Love that energy, man. He's ready to get down to business, man. So, guys, as you have heard already, we're going to be doing a 53-man roster. Way early prediction. Now, let's just put some things out there. A little, what's the word when you disclaimers? I'm going to put some disclaimers out there, guys. This was a project that we worked on weeks ago, way before the first preseason game happened. So some of us might say some names that, you know, injuries have happened. Sean Coleman, and he made my 53-man roster. I'm going to leave him in there. And I'm not going to change it. I'm going to just go down my list the way it is. So if anyone else has people that are in there, I'm not going to say that you guys are going to leave them in there. Maybe you guys are going to adjust on the fly, but I'm going to go down my list accordingly. And this is not based off of what I saw against the Cowboys. This is just what I thought heading into the preseason. So that's how my early 53-man roster prediction is going to break down. All right. Nick, is there anything you want to say before we jump into this?
Nah, man, I'm super excited, man. I saw Wayne Breezy coming in here like George Kittle. Woo! You know,
Stone Cold, baby.
Getting that Stone Cold little woo on. You know,
yeah,
I saw a video of Robbie Gold's brother doing the Ric Flair, you know, strut when he was playing, and they're, you know, the Niners are at Denver now, so His brother is a coach over there. So somebody said, Robbie Gold, you need to get that strut down. But that's what that wool reminded me of as well with the George Kittle strut. So, yeah, super excited, man. I want to see how these numbers match up to what we have because, everybody thinks differently. So it's going to be interesting.
What I wanted to find out really quick, and I don't know if we have it. Do any of you guys have the count from last year with how many of each position the 49ers kept? Do you have that count?
I do.
No.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. That way we can talk about how far off we are from what they had, because I know I didn't follow the plan from last year. I know I didn't. So I'm excited to go ahead and get to this thing, man. So Nick, why don't you kick it off, man? We're going to go in order, and you got this thing going first. So let's have some fun.
All right, well, let's start off. I mean, obviously, we'll start at the top of the roster. We have two quarterbacks. Well, I have two quarterbacks. Last year, they only kept two as well on the active roster. And my two quarterbacks are going to be Jimmy Garoppolo, obviously, and I have Nick Mullins as well.
All right. Does anybody disagree with that? Anybody have anything different on their 53-man roster prediction?
I do.
You do
so
too?
I got us going with three quarterbacks. We went three quarterbacks last year. I got us going with three quarterbacks. Jimmy G, Nick, and believe it or not, man, I got our boy CJ up there, man. This is Kyle. This is one of Kyle's guys. This is one of his picks. I was just going through some of your tweets. And earlier, one of your tweets was like, yo, he had some better passes than Nick Mullins in that preseason game. He just gets injured every other 17 hits that he takes. So I definitely like his toughness. I believe his toughness keeps him on his team, and eventually he's gonna get it right. I mean, with our offensive line, we probably need to go with three.
All right. Now I did hear you say that we kept three last year. We didn't keep three on the active. We used three in total, but we pulled up Beathard from the practice squad. I mean, not Beathard.
No, pull up Nick Mullins from the practice squad.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. So you're going to keep three this year. So we're already down a position. Anthony, is that how you have it also?
Yeah, I have a slightly different reason to Wayne, though, although I do think we keep three. I think with the Garoppolo's inability to stay fully healthy, and I get his injuries are more coincidental rather than, he just broke his leg. Shanahan has two guys that understand the system on top of Garoppolo, and honestly, Mullins and Beathard have played more than Garoppolo in Shanahan's system. So I don't think Shanahan wants to let go of Mullins because of his potential, and I think he will get scooped off the practice squad right away. And just like Wayne said, Beathard is one of Shanahan's picks. He has experience in his system. He might not be a good starter, but he's still a capable starter of going in there and playing downs for you. So I think that's a lot of the reason why they keep Beathard. And again, like I said too, I don't think Beathard will be ahead of Mullins on the depth chart if it falls this way. But I do think if Shanahan doesn't fully trust Garoppolo's health, I think that gives the Niners every reason to keep Beathard, even if Mullins is the primary backup going forward.
That's interesting. I should have thought to ask you guys that. I have three guys making it as well. I should have asked you, Wayne, because Nick doesn't have to answer because he's got the two. Who's your backup? Mm-hmm. Who's your number two as soon as Jimmy goes down?
Got you. Knock on wood. It's got to be Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins had the better upside last season for the 49ers. So it's got to be Nick Mullins. He has the more success. You call me crazy, but like in this preseason game coming up, I want to see what's the other guy? What's his name? Spate? Who's the guy we got from Michigan? I want to see him. I want to see him play. I tell you what, I know he could throw a ball deep. I watched him do it in Michigan. I don't know how he's gonna fare in this system, but we're gonna find out. And that's going to be the competition that we definitely need to be looking out for to see, because Beathard may not make the squad, even though that's our coach's pick. He may not, but I still think we go three quarterbacks. And right now, it should be those three.
All right, so I got something still a little bit different than everybody. I do have all three of them making it. I got Beathard as the backup still. I think Shanahan's love for him, it's just not going to allow him to get bumped down that far. And Beathard, if I'm not mistaken, is beyond his time on a practice squad. And so if Shanahan's hand is forced, I don't think he can do it.
He's eligible for the practice squad.
He hasn't played in 10 games yet?
No, he's eligible.
Oh, wow. All right.
Wow.
Well, that changes it up a little bit, but that's good though. But I still have Beathard making it as the backup. I'll discuss him and what I saw in the game later, but this has nothing to do with the game. So it is what it is, and I think that we might need three quarterbacks. It depends on how competition shakes out later on. So we got Nick with Jimmy is 1, Mullins is 2. Everyone else has Jimmy is 1, Mullins is 2, but we all have three quarterbacks, and then I have the odd guy out here with CJ Beathard being the backup with Mullins coming up to bring up the rear. I think that they're going to give Beathard every opportunity to be QB2. And if he looks bad, he'll be on a much, much shorter leash. It's not going to be a 5 or 6 game thing where he gets hurt and then here comes Mullins. No, 1 or 2 games you look bad. All right, that's it.
So if Jimmy G isn't ready to go week 1 in Tampa Bay, you think CJ Beathard should be our starting quarterback?
I don't think he should be. I think he will be. There's a difference. It's to me trying to predict what they're going to do.
Okay, that's fair. So you think Beathard will be the starting quarterback if Jimmy G, knock on wood, isn't ready to go Tampa Bay? Over Nick Mullins?
Can I just ask a question? Yeah. Because Anthony said, Jimmy not being fully healthy, but if Jimmy wasn't fully healthy, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing and about to start a preseason game. So
understood, but
I don't know where that. But I mean,
it's just one of those lingering things. You know what I'm saying? That people just before our whole damn team was hurt last year, so we gotta tread it a little lightly. But Jimmy definitely better be. He should be starting week 1.
The reason. Let me just explain because everybody else went for 3. The reason I went with 2. Is because there's other camp battles that are going on right now with a lot more talent than CJ Beathard. In my eyes, CJ Beathard is expendable with Nick Mullins on the roster. So to open up another roster spot, I clear that third and get rid of the trash and keep somebody that I think has a potential to play in this system. So that's why I'm just explaining to the guys, to everybody that's watching, as why I went with 2 instead of 3.
Hey man, you're not gonna get me to argue with that. And you know what's funny though, because I remember when we drafted CJ Beathard and who was our quarterback at the time? I was waiting for him to I can't remember whether Kaepernick was hurt, wherever it was. I just wanted CJ Beathard to come in and watch the game because we just needed a fresh new thing. And he came in and he kind of held his own, like his rookie year. He came in and held it down, and then they just started throwing. They just blitz. Is it me or do they blitz CJ Beathard every play? It's like every time he drops, or is he not reading the D? Like they blitz him every time. Is he holding on to the ball too long? Like, what is it?
I don't think they're blitzing. I just think his pocket presence isn't that good. If you go back and watch the Baldy breakdown on that, there was and if you watch the game pass in slow motion, you can see he's just standing there, staring at one receiver the whole time. But it'll be fun to see what happens throughout these next 3 preseason games, especially 4 and 2, because obviously we're going to see more of the starters in 3. But it'll be interesting. So let's we see that we have a difference there. So far I only have 2 on the roster. You guys have 3. Mike, what do you think about running backs?
All right. So I'm going to get to my running backs now. I have 4 running backs on the roster here. Jerick McKinnon, Matt Breida, Tevin Coleman, and Raheem Mostert. There's no surprise there. I guess, we'll see what everyone else thinks before I say anything else.
And before we move on, we had 5 running backs on the roster last year at the 53 countdown.
Thank you.
Did we really?
Yeah, we did. We had McKinnon, Breida, Morris, Raheem Mostert, and Juice was listed as a running back last year. So 4 and a fullback. That's what we had at the 53-man cutdown.
Do you think it's going to be the same way, like with the 5, or is Juice just the fullback?
Yeah, I think we got
How's
to
that gonna?
know how we're classifying Juice for this exercise here.
Well, I just put him in as a
'Cause
fullback.
I put him as a fullback as well, and so I just want to make sure we're on the same page. That's all.
I mean, either way, the numbers are going to come out the same because you're not keeping. Well, they may not, but
Well, you
Right.
guys can list him as a fullback for this exercise. We'll do fullback right after the running back position.
Okay. All right. Cool.
all right. So you had 4. You had McKinnon, Breida, Coleman, and Mostert, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Anthony, what do you have?
Yeah, same as Mike, Breida, Coleman, McKinnon, Mostert. But I do want to say that that I think Jeff Wilson Jr. is honestly knocking on the door, especially if McKinnon can't stay healthy or if he does get a little bit of preseason time. And I get he hasn't played in so long, but if it really isn't that impressive, and I get that Jeff Wilson Jr. doesn't offer as much either, but I personally just feel like McKinnon doesn't offer as much anymore because he's been on this team for so long and hasn't done anything. At the least, I like
2
Jeff
years.
Wilson because he brings a lot of different, different etiquette as a running back compared to what guys like Breida and Coleman bring. So I will say McKinnon will make the roster, but Jeff Wilson Jr. is definitely knocking on the door, and I think he's a really capable backup to McKinnon if McKinnon can't stay healthy.
We didn't sign Morris after McKinnon got injured last year.
Nope. It's right here, position by position breakdown. Picture became clear following Morris's outstanding performance against the Indianapolis Colts during week 3 of the preseason. So he was that's when he made the roster. We had 5 guys on the roster last year.
Oh wow.
Didn't make it to week 1 though. Don't forget that. I think that's why I was thrown for a loop a little bit.
Yeah, well, because McKinnon, but I'm saying after week 3, Morris made it because he played, and then McKinnon got hurt the very last play before the season started.
Yeah.
So the 53 was already made,
It was already done.
and then
Gotcha.
McKinnon went out for the season.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Wayne, what you got on it?
Same as you guys. Coleman, Breida, McKinnon, and Mostert.
All
Same
right.
guys. That's those are the 4. I'm not sure if McKinnon isn't ready to go. I'm not sure what they do. I don't know if it will be Jeff Wilson Jr. Don't he have fumble problems? Don't he have fumble issues or something like that?
There were a couple of guys who had them. Jeff is one of them too, though. There were a couple of guys who hold onto the ball last year. I remember.
Yeah.
So Nick, do you have the same?
I do not. I only have 3. But one
Nice.
being on the IR, which if you put a guy on the IR, they have to go on the IR. They can't return until after 6 weeks. So that gives another person 6 weeks to prove themselves to stay on the roster and see what they're going to do with another position.
You only get 2 of those. Those are the designated to return guys. So
Yeah, two IR guys. With the
I'm gonna need you to stop being so damn smart. All right. I like that.
I'm keeping Breida, Coleman, and Mostert as my 3. And the only reason I'm keeping Mostert in there is because he's coming back. I mean, obviously he's decent too, but the only reason I'm keeping him in there right now is because he has that chance to prove that he can stay healthy with that injury. And if McKinnon comes back and he's not doing as well on special teams or the things, he is an expendable guy there. Or you can keep the 4 and cut somewhere else in another position that I have. And I think I loaded up on the offensive line, an extra guy for those 6 weeks. And that was I forget, but we'll talk about that, who it was in a second. So far I have 5 guys. You guys have 7 guys. Right?
Yep. 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs.
All right. Okay, so the next position would be fullback. Obviously,
it's unanimous.
No. We only have 1 fullback really pretty much on the roster because we've seen a tight end playing there in the first preseason game, which was having a brain fart. Tyree Mayfield was playing as a fullback, and another tight end was playing back there once or twice. So let's go with Wayne. Who do you have for your how many fullbacks are you keeping, and who, if any?
I'm keeping 1 fullback because I believe our team has 1 true fullback, and that is Kyle Juszczyk. I believe he's the one that takes that position at that spot we have plenty of tight ends that I feel will rotate if they need to spell that position.
Anthony, what about you?
Yeah, pretty much the exact same thing Wayne said. You know, he's extremely valuable to Shanahan into this offense and what he has to offer. He's a very flexible person position-wise, and I just, you know, he might be slightly overpaid, but I guess he's the best at his position. So if Shanahan likes him, obviously he has to stay.
All right, I'm going to go next. I'm going to keep Kyle Juszczyk as well as a fullback. So just one on the roster, which will give me 4 running backs total. Mike, what about you, bud?
I have 0 fullbacks making the 49ers roster this season.
Wow.
I don't see the purpose in Kyle Juszczyk being on this roster. I think there's tight ends and even wide receivers, or at least one wide receiver, that can come in and spell for the few times that we use them. You know, when I was doing this, I did a full breakdown of how many snaps this guy took and everything. And to me, it's just not worth it. It's really not.
So
The
how
200
does that work?
receiving
If he
yards.
doesn't, if he doesn't make the roster, how does it work? Like money wise, like how does that work? We would take the hit on dead money. Like how does that work? Because that's a lot of money.
Yeah, you're talking about the cap space and all that stuff. I can pull that up. I don't have the answer right here in front of me, but what I do know is that the Niners are over $30 million over the cap right now, and so they can take that loss. It can't be. It's not more than $5 million, I don't think. So let me pull it up here, really quick. I'll pull up his contract here, and
I just felt like with Juice, like whenever you needed him to bail out the quarterback and he made the play, like you know what I mean, like he you don't feel like he didn't make those catches?
No,
Wayne, I
I've
gotta
seen him
disagree. I feel like
I
Juice
think
had
if you
high
pull up some
moments.
Juice check highlights, you will see him catch the ball. I guarantee that. Whether you agree or disagree or not, I guarantee you he made plays. He might not be worth the money that we paying him because we don't utilize him like no one utilizes their fullback. It's just a good piece to have when you're trying to run play action, whatever it is Kyle trying to run. It's a good piece to have. I don't know. Not saying it because I like the guy. I just feel like he's a piece that Kyle wants.
he's only got a dead cap hit of $2.5 million. It's not hard to walk away from that at all. He is hit or miss with his blitz pickup. I've seen him almost get quarterbacks killed. And I said again, the 263 receiving yards that he's getting a season, it's not worth it. Yeah, you make the guys come out in a certain package because you have another fullback out there, but I'd rather see 2 running backs come out there than Breida and Juice. Give me Breida and McKinnon. Give me Breida and Coleman. Give me Coleman and McKinnon. You get what I'm saying? Don't give me the fullback. Everyone else has more explosion than him. Everybody else has more explosion than him. Everybody else can run the ball better than him. So to me, we're hampering ourselves by putting him out there on the field. So I think
the biggest hit you take is in the run game. Kyle Juszczyk is by far the best lead running blocker that we have on his team. You can't sacrifice a Tevin Coleman, a Breida, even a Mostert. You can't sacrifice them to go through a hole and pick up linebackers all night long. Mostert tried to pick up a linebacker the other night. What happened? He got a concussion. Like, that's just, I mean, to me, I think he's too valuable. You take out the pass game and the even in a, you know, Kyle loves to run 2 wide receiver sets with a fullback and as a passing option as well. Jalen Hurts too big to be going. I mean, I don't want to say too big to be going through the holes for blocking because he was a running back, but to be picking up those blocks, I don't think his value is there yet. Could it be once Juice's contract is over in San Francisco? Probably. But right now, I wouldn't put all that on a rookie. As in, I don't. You could take him out of the pass game, Kyle Juszczyk. I just think he's too valuable with the run game right now.
Last year, he took 62.72% of the snaps. That's the majority of it, right? So it's almost 2 out of 3 snaps he was there on the field, right? But if you go to the previous season, all right, if you go to the previous season when Juice was who he was, he only took 35.8% of the snaps. Here's the difference, and here's the reason why. We had two tight ends in 2008, 2017. We had Selleck and Kittle on the field all the time. And the 49ers didn't run Selleck, Kittle, and Juice out there often. So what they would do is they would sacrifice one of the tight ends to put Juice out there on the field. This year, we didn't have Selleck. We had just George Kittle. So that's why you see an increase in his snaps. If we believe that Ross Dwelley or one of these other guys are going to be making the team and contributing, or Caden Smith, you're not going to see Juice out there. He's going to be out there less than 35% of the time.
What do you mean? Can I ask you a question? I'm not trying to question this. Well, I am questioning it. What do you mean we only had George Kittle out there last year?
Last year, the 49ers didn't run many two tight end sets because we didn't have tight ends to use. Selleck was injured. Selleck's snap count was horrible last year. As far as percentage of plays,
I thought you meant like roster wise. We had
no. He was on the roster. He just wasn't out there when it's time to make a play or snap the ball. He was on the sideline more. So last year we ran with George Kittle alone. All right. The year before that it was Kittle and Selleck, and you saw literally double the amount or half the amount of snaps with Kyle Juszczyk. They preferred to have two tight ends out there the first year. Then they found out what George Kittle can do, and then Selleck got injured, so Selleck was on the sideline, and then they used Juice more. If we believe,
you had Dwelley last year too. Dwelley took snaps last year too,
but nowhere near as many is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the two tight end set was replaced by one running back and one tight end and one fullback. It was replaced in the snap count. That's why I said I don't have a making it. I was looking at the numbers.
Mike, I'm going to agree with what you're saying, but the part of this that I'm going to disagree with is I think even if Selleck is healthy, what Juszczyk brings on the field is a lot more effective than what Selleck can bring. And I get that Shanahan likes his two tight end sets, whether it be in the run game or the pass game. But like Nick said, if you have Juszczyk as a lead blocker and say you are running strong side with Juszczyk and Kittle blocking, I feel like that's a lot more effective than running either side with Selleck on the field along with Kittle. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like that Juszczyk's versatility to kind of do it all, even if he's hit or miss on picking up assignments or hit or miss on picking up blocks, I still feel like he can be just as effective and is more effective than Selleck, even if he's healthy, you know? And like, you know, Nick said too, Dwelley was on the field, and yeah, I get too, he didn't take as many snaps, but where did his name ever really come up, you know? It was all Juice, and it's not just because of Juice and who he is, but I feel like it's because of how effective Juice is, whether it's the big or little things that he does, you know?
That's what I'm saying. That he's needed. He's a utility, Swiss Army knife, whatever you want to call it. I just felt like that's why he's getting paid the money he's getting paid. The production might not be what you expect it to be, but I feel like he's more of a needed piece.
Why?
But hey,
wait. Just tell me why he's needed. Just give me a reason why he's needed.
Just the reasons why they just told us the reasons why. They
to
just
block
came
a
broke
tight
down.
end? I mean, to block a linebacker?
To lead blocking. We want our running backs to not get injured and dinged up. Let the fullback take the hits, right? That's their job. They lead block, they take the linebacker, the running back sees that, picks off, cuts, and gets up the field. We want our offense to run smoothly. I don't think you take out the fullback. Like Kyle Shanahan wants a fullback. He wants a fullback. Now, what you're saying, if I'm not mistaken, Mike, is that we have tight ends that can spell that position and do maybe do what Juice does. Maybe. I don't know.
When we had tight ends that Shanahan trusted to catch the ball, he didn't use a fullback as much. That's all I'm saying.
He used it on rundowns though. He didn't use it in the pass game, but we still had that fullback in there.
You can't say it was rundown. It was less than 36% of the time.
The most of the time we used those two tight ends was mainly in the red zone, yo. Because Selleck had touchdowns in the red zone that season before he started getting hurt. He did not.
I got it right here, bro. Kittle was
not
over
last
50%.
season, the season before.
I'm talking about the season before. Kittle was over 50%, and so was Selleck. They were both over 50%. Juice was down at 35%. Then you go to this last year, and you pull up the same exact people. You got Kyle Juszczyk at 62%, and then you have George Kittle.
Packages, though.
You got George Kittle at 87%. You got Garrett Selleck at 26%. Ross Dwelley at 3%. Cole Wick at 1%. They didn't use two tight ends last year. That's what I'm saying. If we think that they're going to go back to 2 tight ends, then they're not going to use a fullback nearly as much. Is all I'm saying. That's my point.
I don't think we know.
Why are you putting these
we don't
dumbass
know.
comments up here?
I'm just going through the comments.
Okay.
I don't. Mike, you funny. I don't think we know exactly what the hell Kyle Shanahan is going to do this season. Obviously, we can't do the same shit we did last year because the defensive coordinators will be up on it. If we could run 12 personnel, 13 personnel, 22, 21, like I think the fact that we have all these pieces is the game of chess that he likes to play. So he'll give you 2 running backs, 2 tight ends, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 1 tight end, 2 run. He'll give you those packages. Kyle Shanahan is always looking for the mismatch, bro. And Juice brings a mismatch.
We're
Don't ask
outside
me
zone.
how.
Never mind. All right, we should. We
All
spent way too much time on the fullback. I get y'all. I hear what y'all saying, and I think that everyone has got it in their head that Juice is some offensive weapon that we need, and then no one's looking at the numbers. No one's looking at what he actually brings to the table.
I don't think Kyle Juszczyk himself is a need, but the fullback position is a need, and he as a fullback has tremendously helped our run game. That's all I'm trying to say. He's more important in the run game than most of anybody's given credit for. Our running backs aren't running the way our running backs aren't running the way they are without a good lead blocker.
And that's what I was trying to attest to what you were saying, Nick. Think about it. Breida got hurt. Mostert came in. He was getting 9 yards of carry. Mostert gets hurt. The next running back came in. It was like we weren't skipping the beat with having that lead blocker. Now, what you're saying, Mike, is we could put somebody else at that position. So if somebody else can step up, take the place of Juszczyk, cool. All I know is we need a fullback. That's what I'm saying. Don't care who it is. We just need one.
The year the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, their fullback was used 30% of the time.
That's Kyle Shanahan.
That was with Kyle Shanahan. But Mike doesn't know. Go ahead and put that dumbass comment up here on the screen. Mike doesn't know Kyle's offense, though. Right? Like, come on, man.
Who said?
Like, I'm looking at the numbers, bro. Like, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm not just pulling this out of thin air. I don't have a vendetta against any of these guys. I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm looking at the talent we brought in this year. I'm looking at the people we brought in. Come on, man. Don't come at me like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is nonsense.
Nobody's coming at you. What are you talking about?
Right. Let's put up the next. What's next? Let's keep it moving, man.
Let's go to wide receivers.
All that time on fullback, man.
Let's go to wide receivers, yo.
All right, let's go to wide receivers. Let's go, Anthony. You go first. What are you keeping, and how are you doing it?
This is funny.
All right, fellas, let me pull up my little list here. Okay, so without getting into the nitty gritty, because I like hearing you guys do that better. Pettis, Samuel, Jalen Hurd, Trent Taylor, assuming this is assuming health. Richie James Jr. and Jordan Matthews. So it's a little whack, I understand. But the reason why I say this is because I think, I get the team has put up with Jimmy Ward and Josh Garnett regarding their injury history. But I had read an article saying that Shanahan wants to try to use Richie James Jr. like he had Taylor Gabriel in Atlanta. And it honestly makes sense. I could see him possibly doing that. I mean, Richie James Jr., I think, provides at least enough of a speed threat, whether it be over the top or whether it be in the middle of the field, to make something happen. Whereas Goodwin, we all felt like Goodwin was a one-trick pony, And with that being said, I feel like Goodwin does get moved on to a wide receiver needy team. I think this team, and especially Shanahan, is going to covet youth. He's going to covet young wide receivers who can get the job done and who he can develop and groom on his own. And the one person who stands out aside from that is Jordan Matthews. But I think he brings more physicality. I think he brings more veteran leadership and mentorship than Goodwin. And I get Matthews isn't like Goodwin at all as a wide receiver, but I still think Matthews' overall skill set can be a lot more effective than Goodwin, especially when I personally feel like James Jr. can do as much as Goodwin can. So that's my list.
So how many in total did you have?
6.
So just say who they were again.
Sorry, guys. Dante Pettis, Deebo Samuel, Jalen Hurd, Trent Taylor, Richie James Jr., and Jordan Matthews.
Interesting. Interesting.
Nice.
I like your backup with the whole Goodwin thing. So I'm not going to argue with it.
Drop this
All right.
nut on that one. I like it.
Yeah, that was deep.
Mike, go ahead. You're up next. Go ahead.
All right. I got 7 wide receivers, guys, and no surprises here, except the number, I guess. I got Dante Pettis, Tyshawn Samuel, also known as Debo, Jalen Hurd, Richie James, Kendrick Bourne, Trent Taylor, and Marquise Goodwin. And that's a far away from where I used to be. I did not have, you guys know, I didn't have Trent Taylor as being even needed on this roster after we drafted Richie James. And I've come a long way, man. Trent Taylor was killing it this offseason. And so when Nick proposed the idea of putting this together, it's like, man, look, I'm not going to be foolish and ignore what he's doing out here. And he looks like he's got more speed and everything. It sucks that he got that foot injury. But that foot injury also guaranteed him a roster spot. Even if there was some kind of competition between Trent Taylor and player B, that foot injury has guaranteed him a roster spot. They're not going to let him go now. So it's something that's going to work out in their favor. So I got 7 guys here. And like I said, the only surprise really, I guess the guy at the bottom of the roster would be Richie James is probably the bottom guy. Some people may have it as Kendrick Bourne, but I got all of those guys making it.
All right, Anthony or Wayne.
Oh, I'm up. All right. So I have Marquise Goodwin, Dante Pettis. I got Debo. I got Kendrick Bourne. I'll explain later. Trent Taylor, that's my guy. I got Jordan Matthews and Jalen Hurd. That's 7. So, I don't know if you want to get to the explanations after we all name our picks, but that was a good piece on Goodwin, man. I didn't even see that coming. I didn't even think that wasn't even in my memory. Now you got me thinking. But here's why I picked Kendrick Bourne, yo. Dude led the team with receiving touchdowns last year, and he made plays in the red zone. How can you? And he had, other than Kittle, he had the most yards as a wide receiver. How do you not call that progression? And how does he not make this squad? I'm not talking to y'all for, even though y'all disagree. I'm talking to all the mother suckers that's watching us right now. Like, how do you not have him make this squad? Somebody tell me in these comments how he don't make this squad.
Let me play the comments, guy. What they're gonna say is Bourne was the best of a bad situation. They're gonna tell you that.
Get the fuck out of here,
bro. I'm telling you what they're gonna say. They're gonna say that Bourne was good. He did lead the team in receptions. He did lead the team touchdowns and yards, but that was because everybody else was injured. That's what they're gonna say. That's what they're gonna tell you. They're not going to take into account he did it with 3 different quarterbacks and that he was ready and healthy all 16. They're not going to say any of that. The reason they're going to downplay Bourne making this roster is because his numbers weren't great. And I'm saying great in comparison to like the league leaders. Kendrick Bourne was the 98th wide receiver in the NFL last year. 98. He was our number 1 guy. So think about that.
So how did they pick Goodwin if his numbers were worse? And how did they pick? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
they're going to tell you they're going to tell you Goodwin was injured. They're going to say Bourne was healthy all those games. Goodwin wasn't. But the thing is, when Goodwin was healthy, when Garcon was healthy, Bourne was active, but he wasn't on the field. But they're not going to say that. Right. I'm just telling you what they're going to say. I understand your logic, and I got them making it, but I'm telling you what they're going to say. So that's where they are.
Nick, you up, buddy?
All right, I'm keeping 7. I got Pettis, Goodwin, Samuel, Hurd, James, Taylor, and Matthews. I don't have
the only
Bourne.
Mother sucker that doesn't have James.
And I don't.
What am I missing?
No, I don't have Bourne on here because Jalen Hurd is going to be a better red zone receiver than he is. And he's not taking – so listen, hear me out. Jordan Matthews makes this team because Trent Taylor, we're not sure when he's going to come back. And Jordan Matthews and Richie James are the only 2 playing in slot right now. They're the only 2 playing the slot right now.
State of possession, guys. I got you.
Jordan Matthews has 12 passes thrown to him in camp from Jimmy Garoppolo with 11 catches. Jordan Matthews in the slot is going to play the slot this year while Trent Taylor is out. Now, I have 7. Obviously, with Trent Taylor being hurt, but making the 53. But Kendrick Bourne's not taking snaps in the red zone away from Deebo Samuel or Jalen Hurd.
So you think Debo's going to be a good red zone target? His small ass going to be a good red zone target?
He runs one of the best slants.
I don't know,
he's
man.
physical.
We go. I'm not
he's
saying
physical.
he's not strong.
Hold on, let me wait.
Look,
let me finish. He's more physical than Kendrick Bourne is, bro. Deebo Samuel and Jalen Hurd are way more physical than Kendrick Bourne will ever be.
And when
you get to the red zone, what was our team lacking last year with receivers? Physicality.
Mm-hmm.
We have two guys that are way more physical than Kendrick Bourne right now, and that's my reason that he's not making this team.
Yeah, Kendrick Bourne led the team, but he led the team in red zone touchdowns last year too.
But he did.
He did. Right. But he did. So how is he not fucking physical, bro?
Hold on.
How is he not physical?
Because last year he was physical. Last year he was probably the most physical receiver on the team last year, but he's not the most physical guy on the team this year.
Wayne, you gotta hear what he's saying. Nick isn't saying that he wasn't that guy last year. What he's saying is,
so he's saying there's two better guys this year. I got it. I ain't stupid. You're right. There's two more better physical guys this year that we have not seen play yet, right? In a real game.
I don't know. I saw some good physicality out of Jalen Hurd on 5 yards out on the 5 yard line, and
game against the third string defense, bro. Get the fuck out of here, man.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
How does it matter?
It does matter.
Hold on. Let me ask you this. Let me
different.
Oh my God.
Be different. Come on, bro.
Wayne, if you listen to me for 1 second, you're saying it doesn't matter. You're saying it doesn't matter, but it does matter. Hold on. These are two full grown-ass men. Grown-ass men. And the physicality, it doesn't matter with physicality if you're going up against a second stringer, a third stringer, or anybody. You're still going up against a full grown-ass man. And he bulldozed his ass 5 yards into the end zone.
And I watched Kendrick Bourne go up against full-ass starting defensive men on the first string of other defenses that make plays. Come on, bro. I get what you're saying.
Wayne, I got to say this, though. When Kendrick Bourne is a primary guy going against starting defenses, say 3 out of 10 times he gets a target, he makes a catch. You know, you got to think that if Bourne is the go-to guy and he's only making a play 3 out of 10 times, you're going to think that's successful and you're going to make it good, when in reality, he's only doing it because of the situation that he's in. You get what I'm saying? He didn't
have to be in that situation, bro, but he made the play.
Bourne can do things an average wide receiver can do, but what he brings to the table, he has a low ceiling. His ceiling is really low compared to guys like Jalen Hurd and even Jordan Matthews. And people are calling Matthews washed when we haven't even fully seen that.
It's funny because none of y'all was talking about Jalen Hurd when we drafted him. That's funny. So was I.
I'm going on mute.
And I'm not talking about us four. I'm talking about everybody that's 40. Nobody knew who the fuck Jalen Hurd was. Let's keep it a buck. I was the first person that posted everything, like video during the draft while we were live. I was posting video on Jalen Hurd because I kept telling y'all he was a problem. Cass was like, "Oh, I don't know how we gonna use him. And they're gonna use him as a running back, tight end, blah blah blah, all this stuff." I get what you're saying, Nick. You are 100% correct. They're the two most physical. They're probably the two most physical people on our team. We got stronger, right? We got stronger. I get it. I guess what I gotta look at is the X, Y, and the Z. And if he's the weakest link for the Y or the X, wherever he's playing, then I gotta agree with you.
And let's calm it down a little bit. But I understand where you're coming from. Kendrick Bourne led the team last year in the red zone. Okay. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it was because there wasn't a whole lot of talent on this team last year when he was playing, when he got his opportunity. He got his opportunity. He produced. He did what he was supposed to do. But if you don't bring in more talent to compete against him, we got better now. Whether we seen one game out of Jalen Hurd, 2 games, just training camp, we got our receivers got more physical and better than the receivers we had last year. And you just said you like Jalen Hurd. So to not see the real difference of physicality in a red zone, when was the last time we see, and I know it's only one game, but when was the last time we seen a Niners receiver go up as a fade and actually catch the fucking football and come down? Jalen Hurd did that. Jalen Hurd came down and went physicality last year. And that's the only reason I'm giving Bourne. The only reason I got Bourne over Matthews over Bourne is because Trent Taylor's hurt.
Well,
if Trent Taylor wasn't hurt, I would have had Bourne in there over Matthews.
That's what I was gonna say. You said that when you gave your answer. Nick said that when he gave his answer, and that's new information. Remember, I told y'all in the beginning of this, I was doing this before any of the injuries. So honestly, knowing that, because I don't have Matthews making it, but knowing that Trent Taylor is going to be out, and they're hoping he can get back by week 1. They're hoping he can get back by week 1. Knowing he's going to be out, we probably do need to have another slot guy there. You get what I'm saying? Now, I can still keep my guys and hope that they play Richie there or slide Debo there or even put Hurd in there. You know what I mean? Like, but I know that probably the better backup slot guy is Jordan Matthews right now on the roster. He's probably the better backup guy. So I could understand that. Like when Nick said that right away, and so I couldn't jump on him the way I would have if this was done before the injury. You know what I mean? So I get what everybody's saying on here. It's a good one though. We'll see what happens though, man. We'll see. I you know what I want though, and I'm not the I told you so guy. I can't wait. I can't wait for Kendrick Bourne to make this roster. So all these people in the chat, I can't wait. I can't wait for it, man. Oh, I'm gonna do a show and just sit here and look at y'all like.
I'm gonna be in the fourth box.
And look, there's a possibility. There's a possibility that he makes this roster, but I don't think he has as much chance as he did last year to play. To be honest,
and I get what you mean by that.
I'm not trying to say that Kendrick Bourne is a bad receiver. I just think we got better receivers now than what we had last year. And
I got you.
And Kendrick Bourne, like people were saying, like, oh, he's only on year 3, got to cut him some slack. Well, year 3 in this system, he should be outdoing all these guys that have been here only 2 years or 1 year. Like that's where I get with him. The other night, he made one really good catch and made a catch that literally fell in his pocket and dropped it. Like those are my issues that I have with him. Like, and I've said this all along. These are important things. Like you have to catch the football, and especially when it's a good throw. Richie James' throw was high. I understand. I still got on his ass about because you got to hold on to that. He held on to it all the way to the ground. But the one with Bourne was wide open on the crosser route and literally just dropped it. Nowhere in sight. Like you can't do that. He'll make some incredible ass catches and then drop the easy ass catches. Like that's what aggravates me about him, I guess. That's all.
I hear you. Every superstar wide receiver does that, but I hear you, no doubt. Julio Jones does it all the time.
Well, I don't think he drops anything in his chest.
Julio
ain't dropping nothing into his chest, bro. Like, yeah, I can see.
Nick, don't do that. Nick, don't do that. Julio has dropped some.
Julio has dropped some easy passes on slants, and he definitely don't catch the ball in the red.
And he is.
That's his weakness.
What happened to Anthony? Oh, and
because he turned his camera off.
And he's back, and he's walked back, and Julio has walked back to the huddle like, hey, like I've seen that happen before. Everybody drops passes.
Yeah, but I get, and it's cool to be frustrated at that. My bad for yelling, guys. I just get.
You know what this all means, though, Wayne? Hold on. You know what this all means? It means that we got better.
Right.
If we're arguing about what receivers we're keeping, that's what it means. We got
exactly. This is a good thing. Like this is definitely a good thing. I definitely feel you though. We did get. We got. When I just if y'all have not seen the Debo Samuel catch, it was Tyreek Hillish. Can we agree? Like he
are you talking about the long one down the left sideline?
Between two dudes.
Did you see how he created separation though? He broke down like he was gonna turn and it took off on him.
That was filthy. That was probably the filthiest route I've ever seen.
You can't teach that, bro. That is all natural gift. Whoever scouted these dudes deserve a motherfucking gold medal.
I thought that was Debo Rice out there for a second when I was watching that catch. It looked like Debo Rice.
I've never seen Rice catch a ball like that. I've never seen Rice jump up between Rice balls be out here. He make fingertip catch. Rice is in stride. I've never seen a 49ers receiver catch a pass like that. Ever. Maybe not even when Randy Moss played. How about that?
Well,
I don't even think I was alive the last time that happened.
if you go, I sent you guys that video today of that kid breaking down Jalen Hurd and Deebo Samuel in the first preseason game. And if you get a chance to watch that, not only did he do that stutter step like he was going to do a comeback route, but he beat the guy right off the line of scrimmage. I mean, he literally beat him. And then what happened was he kind of slowed up to turn, and the DB cut back, and he was going. And if that pass was a good throw, that's a touchdown all day long. But he had to come back for it. But that's what we've been missing in this receiving corps is a guy to come back and fight for the football. And he literally –
And that's who Pierre Garçon was supposed to be. But he was old. Like, that's why we had signed him. He was supposed to do that. He was old. But I'm glad. I'm just excited, guys. Can we get to the tight ends?
Yeah, so let's go with the tight ends. You guys want me to go first since
Yes,
I was on the last one? I'm keeping 3. Obviously, I remember Kyle Shanahan this year saying he was keeping 3. He always wanted to keep 3 on his roster, but I'm keeping 3. I got Kittle, Ross Dwelly, and this one was a tough one for me because I've been hearing a lot of good things about Toilolo and camp, but I really like Caden Smith's ability to go up and get the football, and his blocking has been better than Toilolo's, so I'm keeping Caden Smith as of now. So my 3 are George Kittle, Ross Dwelly, Caden Smith.
Cool.
Mike, what do you think?
I agree. Same exact 3 I have. Nope, no difference here. I celebrated Caden Smith. I don't know if you guys remember on Twitter.
I did.
I did my favorite 5 players for some of the major positions I thought the Niners needed: edge rusher, wide receivers, and tight ends. And Caden Smith was
tight end. I remember. Yes, I do.
Caden was in my top 5. I celebrated when we got him. But Ross Dwelly has been looking good, and the camp reports have sounded good. Caden Smith is a possession guy. He's a physical dude, and that's what we've been lacking. So that's it. That's it for me. Goodbye to Selleck time.
Isn't he hurt?
Mm-hmm.
What you got, Anthony?
I have Selleck on the IR. He's my second guy.
Oh,
So if Caden Smith doesn't, So if Caden Smith doesn't work out, Selleck can come back. Caden Smith goes to the practice squad. So I do have Selleck still on the IR, designated a return after week 6. Sorry, I should have mentioned that.
So go ahead. Okay. For my tight ends, this was actually a little tougher because I do like what Dwelly has to offer, and I do like what Caden Smith has to offer. But honestly, in this ranking, it was between one of them, and I had to go with Caden Smith just because he is the higher draft pick than Dwelly, because I believe Dwelly was a UDFA. But with that being said, I went Kittle, Caden Smith, Levine, Toilolo. And the reason why I went with Toilolo is because he played with Kyle Shanahan in Atlanta. He understands the system. He brings familiarity. And he is somewhat of a mismatch, although he obviously isn't a big receiving threat. But he does bring size to the tight end position that I think he has over Ross Dwelly. And maybe their skill sets are relatively similar. Who knows? We have to see more of that. But for the time being, I like what Toilolo brings, not only with familiarity, but just as a run blocker and pass blocker as well. I think Shanahan likes familiarity. I think he likes guys that understand his system the most. And even in Atlanta, when Toilolo wasn't exactly as effective because he had Austin Hooper next to him, Toilolo was still just as effective. And it kind of goes back to like Juszczyk too. You know, you're not bringing Juszczyk in just to be a big play guy. You're bringing him to be effective and, you know, be a lead blocker. So I feel like that's what Toilolo is to this team as well. I think he's way more than just a camp body. And overall, I think he can just be more effective and more impactful than Dwelly can. Although Dwelly does bring a little bit more in the receiving game than Toilolo, it's still nice to have a tight end that has one design skill set like Toilolo, which is blocking. And Caden Smith we see is a mix of both. Kittle's obviously a mix of both. He's one of the best in the game. But I think Shanahan is going to prefer a tight end who can do more of this one thing and this one thing only. And I know he likes versatility, but like I said, I think Toilolo's familiarity with Shanahan is going to be the advantage over Dwelly.
That's very interesting because Ross Dwelly has 2 years in the system now, going on his third. So he's got familiarity with Kyle Shanahan's system too. So
Yeah, but Tololo got more experience in Kyle Shanahan's system.
well, he's a 7-year vet. I mean,
that's why Kyle picked him up. Hey, I got the same list as Anthony, Kittle, Tololo, and Smith. But the biggest thing I like about Tololo is he's what 6'8", 6'7", whatever he is, he's a monster, and he's going. I just want y'all to know that Kyle likes to play chess. In this game of mismatching, he's going to get those pieces to where he can pull out their strengths and utilize them to the T. And that's what Kyle likes. That's what he's doing all day, every day. When they were in Atlanta, when they had Cooper and Toilolo, Matt Ryan had his best season. Julio Jones had his best season. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a Julio, but we got a Debo, Goodwin, Pettis, and all the other ones we named. We're going to see production rise with these pieces, and I think Toilolo is what makes it happen. I'm not. I don't know if Dwelly gets cut. I don't know how the cutting works. You guys be hitting me with information. I'm like, oh, they can't play 10. If they play more than 10 games, they can't go to the practice squad. But knock on wood, if the injury happens, I'm hoping we're able to sign Dwelly off waivers and stash him somewhere. I don't know how it works. But those are my three.
All right, Mike, you're up, man. Oh, you already went.
I just want to let y'all know that Levine Toilolo has never caught 20 passes in a Kyle Shanahan system
ever
in a season.
But like we said, he's a piece that's utilized for the system. So he might be just that body that's there, just like we talked about Juice there, yo. And Toilolo ain't making no money, so he's gonna come there and try to help us get us a ring.
And then what happens?
I don't know who we keep.
Let me ask you guys this, and this is the reason I keep Ross Dwelly. If something happens to George Kittle, Ross Dwelly fills in because he's exactly the same type of tight end. He blocks well, he catches well, he runs good routes. Toilolo ain't catching the football like Kate or Ross Dwelly.
Word on the street though.
Oh, he broke up. Damn, I want to know what word on the street is so bad. Oh, Breezy, come back to me, baby. All right, we'll move back. He's not moving yet still. When he starts moving, maybe he'll pop back in here. We'll find out what word on the street was. I would love to know. Damn, I'm on the edge of my seat. I want to know what he was about to say.
So real quick, just to jump on what Nick was gonna say. When Toilolo didn't have any more than 20 catches, Austin Hooper was basically their go-to tight end, correct? So I think Shanahan is going to try and build the way he had it in Atlanta, like he did, or how he had it in Atlanta, and he's going to try and bring that here.
Right, which I understand, but I want to ask you, are you trusting Toilolo if George Kittle goes down as your number one tight end? No.
Caden Smith is my number 2 tight end. Toilolo is my number 3. On the depth chart, at least on the depth chart, because I do feel like Caden Smith brings a lot more than what Toilolo can as a pass catcher. So I do get what you're saying. I think Dwelly would be a better receiving option than the next guy like Smith and Toilolo, but at the same time too, Shanahan in Atlanta only had his one receiving tight end threat, which was Hooper, and then he had his one primary blocking tight end, which was Toilolo. So I can see that's what he's trying to rebuild now. Albeit that the offense might not move as well as it would if Kittle was gone.
Right, I got you. I think we got Wayne back now. So word on the street is what, Wayne?
Sorry, man. It said word on the street is like on NFL radio. I listen to it like every day. They said that Toilolo looks really good in camp. So I'm not sure. They said that he's sure to make the team. This is what they're saying. But at the end of the day, we don't know what Kyle wants. I'm hoping he makes the squad. I just like him because of the mismatch. I'm thinking that every 6'8" player gonna go out there and be a mismatch monster like Gronk. I know that they're not. I know that. I just in my head, that's what I'm thinking. And what if this is the season, with Jimmy throwing him the ball, he becomes a catching tight end. But Nick, what you said makes more sense in my opinion. I would like to have knock on wood, if a guy like Kittle goes down, I would like to have a person come in that can do this, has almost the same skill set, and see what doesn't skip a beat. So why you say he doesn't make the team?
Yeah.
You know, and then my last thing on this, and then I swear to God, I'm done. The only reason I think that Toilolo was brought in is for the same reason that guys like Paulson were brought in. They were never brought in to be major players or contributors, but they got their opportunity due to injuries. And so I'm thinking that that's what was happening right there. Did Nick take himself out of the thing? All right. So I'm thinking that's what was happening there. So, all right, let's keep it moving here. Let's move. Okay. Wayne backed out too. All right.
Mike. It'll be us.
I mean, Nick is still down there. I just don't know why he. Oh, let me add him back in then. Okay. Oh, no.
There we go.
You got to go? You got to step away? We can't hear you. You're muted.
Restroom.
Okay. He took himself off. All right. All right. So then let's keep it moving here then. The next position that I have here, we're still on the offensive side of the ball, right?
Yeah, offensive line.
All right. So I have – oh, okay. I just got the message from Nick. My bad, guys. I wasn't sure if he popped himself off by mistake or what. Out, I should say, not off. Let's start with tackles really quick. Do you have it broken down by tackles or just linemen in general?
Yeah, let's do tackles because I think this is actually going to be kind of underrated. Something to talk about. Obviously, we know that Sean Coleman broke his leg and dislocated his ankle. That's just as bad as Mostert, who broke his forearm last season and did something else. I think concussion. But anyways. For the tackles, obviously Staley and McGlinchey. And the Niners brought in a veteran swing tackle in Sam Young.
He's a big dude, too.
Yeah. I don't want to say he's more than a camp body because I feel like the Niners like what they see out of Justin Skill. But at the same time, what we saw in the preseason from Skill and what we've been hearing about in training camp has not been that good. You know, and it gives me the understanding of why he was a 6th-round pick. At the moment, I almost feel like he's playing as an undrafted free agent. And this could be a bit of an overreaction because he is a rookie and he is learning the nuances of the game. But I've been hearing that his overall pass protection has been really bad. On top of the penalties he committed in the first game, I feel like it's more of a developing thing. But we do still have to see Sam Young. So I'm not going to lie. For the time being, I got to give it to Sam Young, Mike. I just feel like Sam Young is just a veteran swing tackle who's going to come in and compete. And he's not going to be like Willie Beavers or Wesley Johnson. But, I mean, I feel like he understands the nuances of the position and what's going on, and he understands what to do at the most better than Skill for the time being. So I could see Skill being a total practice squad candidate if Shanahan likes Sam Young better. But for the meantime, Skill hasn't shown me that he's capable to be the backup swing tackle yet. And until he develops, I just have to give it to Sam Young just because he knows it better. He's a veteran. And at the least, he's at least backup capable for what we know.
All right. That's a very good answer there. So you got 3 of them in total making it, right? 3 tackles in total.
Yeah.
What about you, man? How many tackles do you have on making the 53?
Who, me?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I have tackles. I have
Just
4.
Just tackles. You got 4 tackles making it?
I have 4. I had 2 left. Well, I had Joe Staley, Sean Coleman, Mike McGlinchey, and Justin School.
Making
So I have
53.
4.
That's interesting. Okay. All right.
But I think but with Sean Coleman going down, I guess it would be 3 now. But I have 4. Due to the fact that injuries happen, I feel like this is I think Nick was saying earlier, like this is where we need to beef up our roster spots. Making sure that the line has depth. So I have 4.
All right. Nick, how many tackles do you have? We didn't do the entire offensive line. We just went to tackles.
Oh, shit. All right. So I got Staley, McGlinchey.
Nick, you're muted if you can hear us.
No, I can hear him. I heard him.
I was gonna say I'm not
Oh.
muted. I got Staley, McGlinchey, Thomason, Mike Purchase, Sam Young,
Okay.
and
I can only hear you, Mike.
that's it. I didn't break them down by position, so
Yeah, that's my fault. I did that to try to stall for you since you walked away. I didn't want to go over the entire offensive line while you left. So, all right. So that you got those three.
yeah.
Believe it or not, guys, I only have two. And
Yeah.
the obvious two is Staley and McGlinchey. That's because I think that anyone else that we keep can be brought back from practice squad. So that was me kind of playing with the manipulation of the practice squad guys. Even if they like school or whatever, however you pronounce his name, I didn't like what I saw from him, but you know, it's a rookie and it's his first game, you know, so I'm not mad at what I saw. He can definitely improve. I'm pretty sure he will. How much he'll improve, I don't know. But I have him being stashed on the practice squad. You know, keep putting the bad film out there, and no one's going to want to touch him. So that's my reasoning behind it. And you know, in the crunch in the game, if something happens, someone else will have to slide over there. But right now, the only two tackles I have are McGlinchey and Staley.
And that's the whole reason I kept Sam Young there because he's filling Sean Coleman's spot as in the swing tackle.
Yeah, and to be clear here, I did have Sean Coleman as my swing guy, but I took him out for this injury, and I'm just not going to include him. I had a guard that I had on the line here, so I'm just going to include him instead of my offensive lineman camp. So, all right. So with that said, let's move on to guards. I don't think there's any big, debate there for that. Let's move on to guards. We'll go back in reverse. Nick, if you want, do you have your guard? You know what? No, let's go to Anthony. I know Anthony hasn't broken down by position. Nick, you can get yours. Get it together while we're doing it.
All right. The hardest position to break down. So, Shanahan values his versatility with this offensive lineman. So, the best I could do for guard is Laken Tomlinson. I believe Mike Person can play guard. I think he is listed as a guard. Najee Toran, because I think he has a lot to offer. And I think this time of period is a big time for him to develop as a player. And I really think they do like what he has to bring. I feel like he can fit the scheme well. He's good size for it. And he just seems like he has a good head on his shoulders, And I feel like he really wants to get the whole game down. He just seems like he brings a good mentality. So with that being said, Laken Tomlinson, Mike Person, Najee Toran, Ben Garland, and I'm going to bring this back because of familiarity. I think Shanahan honestly does like to play his favorites, and I think he's going to do that with Garland because he's been in his system before. And I feel like Shanahan is going to covet guys who know it well or at least understand it. And lastly, this is for Mike. I got to go with the boy Josh Garnett too, because I think that he can bring it. Ever since I saw last season when he was healthy, when he handled Aaron Donald, and I get it was week 17 and I don't care, he still handled the best defensive lineman in the league. And Garnett did it, and Garnett got all up in his face, and Donald got all pissy. So with that being said, I do like Garnett making this roster. I was actually going back and watching some of his college film at Stanford, and I was trying to figure, well, how do you win the best offensive lineman trophy? Well, at Stanford, I guess the Pac-12, but this guy balled out. And I know that was so long ago, but he's not that far removed from that still. And if anything, his body should be relatively fresh. He has very little mileage on it. So I feel like he still has a lot to offer. He still has a lot to bring, and he still has a lot to show. And he's stuck around for this long, and I do believe it's more than just him being a first-round pick. So Garnett's my last guy to make the guard spot, and he is an underdog starter. Got to roll with that.
Man. Now, Wayne, could you hear all of that?
Yeah, I heard everything he said. I just can't hear Nick for some reason. Man, you went with 5 guards? Woo! That's a lot. But
bro, you went with 4 tackles.
I know. That's why this list is funny, right? Because I went with 4 tackles. I just felt like that's a position to protect the quarterback, so we need. All right. So anyway, I went with 3 guards. Nick, if you don't mind me going next, because I can't hear you. I went with Tomlinson, Garland, and Pearson. I did not pick Garnett, even though I want to, because I want to root for those that really didn't get their shot on this squad, and I believe he can be a good offensive guard, but I think he needs to change the scenery. He'll be good with the 49ers ever. He can't stay healthy with the 49ers, and I don't believe he gets the opportunity to stay with the 49ers due to health. I get it. He handled, but he did handle Aaron Donald week 17 of last season. And I definitely wish there was some upside with him. But at some point, we got to know when to cut the ties and move forward and cut our losses. Smart guy, was a beast in college, just couldn't handle grown-ass men in the NFL. That's how I look at it.
All right.
Interesting.
All right. Nick, do you want to go next or you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go. I went with Person, Garnett, Torin, Garnett, Garland. And the reason I kept Garland is because Weston Richburg's still in the bucket to start week 1, and he's the center right now. So he plays center and guard. And Tomlinson.
You kept 5 guards?
I kept 5, but 1 is a center guard as the center backup.
Okay.
So I got 9 total.
Could you hear him then, Wayne?
No, I'm hearing your reaction. I'm not sure why.
Okay. So he kept 5. He kept I'm pretty sure. Go ahead, try now.
No? Still can't hear me?
No, I guess he can't hear you still.
All right. I can hear you, Nick. I can hear you.
That's so weird. All right. Anyway, all right. So I kept 4. I got Mike Person, Lincoln Tomlinson, Najee Turan, and last but certainly not least, Ben Garland. I did not keep Joshua Garnett, man. Listen, everybody knows that he has been my favorite.
Reaction, Joe. Why? Oh my God, Mike! Come on, dude! You just pissed in my cereal. What the hell?
Listen, man. Look, like this is my thinking behind it. All right, it's not that I don't want him, not that I don't like him. You guys know how much I love this guy, and you guys got to think about when I made this list. We made this. What was it? 2 weeks ago. We made these lists, right? So this was right after they announced his injury, like right after they announced his finger injury, right? And all I could think of was last year when Shanahan kept saying, "Look, I don't know what's going on with him, but he better get out there soon." Like when the head coach starts calling you out because he's tired of the little knickknacks and hangnails and things like that keep you on the sideline, it's not a good look. And this was his offseason, especially with Tomlinson coming back from the injury, especially with them almost not bringing back Person. This was his offseason to really come up and show and prove, hey, I should be that guy. You guys know last year I felt like he beat out Mike Person. I feel like that he really beat him out. But Shanahan's got to be pissed with this guy. And I did this trying to figure out what they were going to do from a team's perspective. And I don't have him. I don't have him making it. To Nick's credit about keeping a guard / center, that's why I have Najee Turan on here also. Najee moved back and forth from center. I believe he played some center for a decent amount of time in the Cowboys game also, if I'm not mistaken. So Najee is a guy that can do it as well. So I liked him.
Yeah, and the reason I kept Josh Garnett on there is because he's an extra guy who knows this system. And I put Justin Skule on the practice squad. So I didn't have Justin Skule in my spot. And I know he plays, but it gives Joshua Garnett to get time to get healthy. He knows this system, and it gives time for Justin Skule to grow on a practice squad. So Joshua Garnett is not one of these worst offensive linemen. It's just being able to stay healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
The last thing I want to bring up about Garnett, too, is that he never missed any time at Stanford. So, a lot of where these injuries – I had to look it up first. He averaged 14 games played in Stanford, and he even played as a true freshman. So, trying to put 2 and 2 together between his health in college versus his health in NFL, I do think he's capable of taking on NFL talent. I think it's just a matter of, I don't want to say mentally preparing, but, I just want to say, Garnett, I feel like we'll have the health once he fully gets it together. But I do get where Mike is coming from. It is a matter of time if he can put it together.
And
that was just a comment I wanted to make because I thought it was interesting, like I said, that he played fully in college, but
yeah,
no.
You're 1,000% right. In the comment that's up on the screen right now by Tim Duncan, it says Garnett tried to tough it out and go back into practice with his dislocated finger, but the team doctors will shut him down. He did, and I'm not trying to take that away from him. It's just the fact that it's another injury. That's all it is. It's not that I'm not saying he's not tough. He did absolutely. He tried to go back out there. We've seen guys tape it up, and don't tell me, oh, he should have bit it off and went back out there. It's preseason, it's practice. I understand why the team said, you know what, let's not make it worse. Go sit down.
Right.
There's nothing to prove right now. It's early in preseason. Go sit down. I completely understand that, but it's just it's just something that I don't think. I don't know. I think Shanahan's had enough of it. He's got to come back and really show that he is the best guard on the roster in order to make this 53. So that's just what I think. Wayne, I want you to do me a favor, pop in and pop out and then pop back in just to see if we can reset your mic for Nick there. And while you do that, we're going to talk centers while you're going. So let's go with Nick really quick, and then we'll do Anthony, and then me, and then Wayne.
What position are we doing?
Center.
Oh, center. I already gave my centers. Weston Richburg and Ben Garland.
Oh, damn. How did I miss that? Okay.
Yeah, remember I said I only kept Ben Garland as the backup center.
Right. I remember you saying that with the guard thing. I didn't remember the Richburg thing. All right. What about you, Anthony? Same thing?
Yeah, same thing. But a small comment I want to make is that Richburg was very unimpressive last season. And I wouldn't be surprised if another player is going to split first-team reps at center with him when he's healthy during practice. And hopefully that's maybe just to light a fire under Richburg and actually get him to perform better. But at the least, we can say Richburg's performance last season was very concerning. So, I want to see him step it up when he's fully healthy. But at the same time, we overpaid for this guy who's supposed to be a top center or, at least a top 10 center, and we haven't gotten that yet. So, Richburg, Richburg obviously will make it, but for how long he'll be the starting center, honestly, it's just a little thing to think about.
Yeah, very true. Nick, give Wayne a sound check. There you go.
You can hear me now? All right. So one thing I was saying wanted to say about that, Anthony, is the one thing that I liked, like I agree with you, Richburg wasn't playing that well, but if you watched our center play the other night, every single snap was below the knees in shotgun. Every single snap. So he has that chemistry with Jimmy Garoppolo. He has that chemistry with Nick Mullins. He has that chemistry with CJ Beathard. So I don't think he's going anywhere, and I don't think his position is even touched this year. Possibly next year, if there's somebody that goes on waivers with us being, the second in waiver position, I think an offensive lineman gets picked up. And then that kind of fluctuates and throws off these, if Joshua Garnett's not right, or, maybe, Najee Torin gets pushed to the practice squad, a waiver guy gets brought in, things like that. So.
All right. And I have just one center, and that's Weston Richburg. I think that if there's a backup situation coming from the guard position, I talked about Najee Torin already. Even Ben Garland can do it. So. I have both of those guys making the team. Those will be our backup centers. It sucks that Eric Magnuson is gone now, but it is what it is. I really like Eric Magnuson too, but again, this team is tired of injuries, especially for guys who haven't been out there and doing it. It's one thing to be a guy who's contributing and getting injured. Trent Taylor, even Marquise Goodwin. These guys were contributing at least, and they were getting injured and dinged up all the time. Guys like Joshua Garnett and Eric Magnuson, they weren't contributing. They weren't bringing anything to the table, and you're injured all the time. There's no need for you here. Let's just move on and find someone else. And that's why I think that's why Garnett won't make it this year. So, all right. And what are we going to do next? Is that everyone on offense? We did offensive linemen, we did running backs, fullbacks.
Offense.
Oh yeah, that's it, baby.
All right. I hope let's figure this thing out.
Defensive lineman.
Oh, he jumped right to it. Got me. All right. This is good. This is going to be the one right here. This is going to be crazy.
I'll go first. Let's just do all defensive linemen. Don't do, defensive ends or things like that because these guys fluctuate all over the line. So I kept 10. 10 guys. D Ford, Nick Bosa, Buckner, Armstead, Blair, DJ Jones, because he's the only true nose tackle that we have on this team. Solomon Thomas. This is where it got tough for me, but I kept these ones. Kentavious Street, Julian Taylor, and Demontre Moore.
We did a video on Demontre Moore, and you said what?
Nope, not saying it.
Oh, you punk. You punk.
I said it 2 videos ago. I'm not saying it again.
All right, that's cool. That's cool, but I'm glad to see that your tone has changed. I like that. Very good, man. Growth is good. Growth is good. I like it a lot, man. Very good. All right. Now, I noticed that you have Sheldon Day not in there, right?
Yep, I have Sheldon Day as the one who's – that's where it was tough for me. Between DJ Jones and Sheldon Day, I think they're competing right now. DJ Jones, though, like I said, is more of a true nose tackle than Sheldon Day is. So we have that versatility playing defensive tackle, but that true nose tackle position, you'll probably see Buckner in there a little bit maybe, and DJ Jones for me. And that's what it came down to, as being a true nose tackle between those two.
Awesome sauce. Anybody else want to go next, or you guys want me to take it off?
I'll
Go
take
ahead,
this
bro.
for the team. Okay, so I went with 8. I went with 8 guys because I think secondary depth is a lot more important than defensive line depth, considering who we have at the position. And you guys can rip me; it's fine. I'll take it. But this is what I got: DeForest Buckner, Nick Bosa, D Ford, Solomon Thomas, Eric Armstead, DJ Jones, because I 100% agree with what Nick said. I think DJ Jones is a better natural nose tackle than Day, whereas Day is just a space eater. Buckner, Bosa, Ford, Thomas, Armstead, DJ Jones, Kentavious Street, because that dude is just a whole powerhouse of a man. And finally, Ronald Blair, because I think this team is going to covet edge depth, especially with guys like Armstead and Thomas who can play inside and who really play inside a lot better than they do on the edge. So I think interior defensive linemen with this team will be a lot more rotational than a lot of people think it is, whereas Bosa and Ford will get the primary snaps at each end. And who knows, maybe if Bosa comes off, we'll see Armstead play that position or Thomas will play that position. But, once we get into the other positions later, I got to go with 8 because I think this team really trusts what we have at the position. I think they can and will stay relatively healthy. I don't think Bosa is injury prone. I don't think D Ford is injury prone. So I will bank on the health of this defensive line because I think there are other positions that need more depth. So I got to roll with those 8 guys I said. I really got to.
Just so you guys know, last year we kept 9.
Oh, okay.
Defensive linemen.
Wow.
And that's where I'm at. So I'll go next, and then we'll let Wayne finish it up. I'm at 9, and my 9. I changed it. All right, no, let me give you my names, and I'll let you know what I was deciding between. I have Eric Armstead, Ronald Blair, Nick Bosa, Forrest Buckner, D Ford, DJ Jones, Solomon Thomas, Sheldon Day, and I was deciding between Kentavious Street and Demontre Moore. All right, I listed Kentavious Street at the time. Again, this was 2 weeks ago. Had I seen the game on Saturday, Street would not make it, and Moore would be on here instead. So mine is very similar to Nick's, except Nick has one more person than what I do. So he actually has 2 people more than I do, but because he doesn't have Day in there and I do. But I just felt like, I wasn't really, I had this bias against Kentavious Street because of how high we picked him, knowing he wasn't going to be able to do anything. all year long. I've had like this resentment towards him, but then like I know how strong he is and things like that. But that, you know, and then when we watch the game, we see him like with the slow get off. He had the slowest reaction time when the ball was snapped of any defensive lineman I saw. I mean, like it was bad. Guys were on their second step before he got his hand out the dirt. So, you know, that kind of stuff, you know, I obviously can improve with that and all, but based off of just that last game, I would have more over him for sure instead of Street making it. But
and I have Street, obviously, but one of the other reasons I kept Demontre Moore was because he was playing defensive end. He was playing the outside guy. So to me, that's depth there. And if you can get a guy like that and you can't re-sign at Armstead next year, you give him more growth in this system and continue to keep him here if you don't re-sign Armstead playing the outside.
all right. My man Wayne, how many you got?
All right. Can you hear me, guys? I got 8. I got Bosa, Armstead, Ford, Thomas, my man Blair, Buckner. I got DJ Jones, and I got the strongest man on the team, Katavius Street. That's our line, yo. This is gonna be whatever 8 of the 10 or whatever 10, whatever we go with this position with this line is gonna be top 3 in the NFL, yo. So it don't matter which 10 we go with or 8 or whatever. It's gonna be a problem this year. So this is gonna be a problem. There's gonna be pressure from the outside and the inside.
Absolutely. And I think it's one of the deepest groups on the entire roster. I think this group will go toe-to-toe with running backs as far as production goes from anybody who's out there on the field at the time.
Finally.
This group is nasty. I think Kocurek is exactly what this group needs. Someone to give them that urgency there and all. And there's no wrong answer here. There really, really isn't. If you guys didn't see Demontre Moore in preseason, don't look at just the sack numbers. That guy was getting after it, play in and play out. You know, and he's someone I'll be honest with you, he exceeded my expectations. You know what I mean? He's a good guy out there, and I like I said, I didn't have him making it, but had I seen this game, he would have been in and not Street. So.
Well, you know, it was tough for me between the kid that just suited up for the Niners that we just picked up this week, the Valaga guy, and Demontre Moore. But Demontre Moore, yes, while Valaga had 2 sacks, Demontre Moore was just more of a powerful impact on the entire defensive line throughout the whole time he was playing compared to just Valaga's getting those 2 sacks. So that's why I kind of lean towards more Demontre Moore.
And Moore did something that I thought is a tone-setting play, right? It was effort until the whistle. There was a fumble, and it was him and another teammate fighting over who was going to recover the fumble, right? But he never looked to see who it was. He was just ripping. I mean, he was just nasty down there. And I'm watching thinking, bro, it's the same team. But when I watch the game again, you can tell he never looked to see who it was. Bro, you're not getting this fucking ball from me. This is mine. I'm taking this for us. You know what I mean? I think the person started yelling, same team, same team. And he finally was like, oh, okay. And then he just got up and was like, cool, we got it. You know what I mean? Like he has this what's it called? When like he has this reputation of this selfish guy. He was fighting in the locker rooms and things like that. But that showed me growth. Once he heard the guy say same team, he looked real quick and then okay, cool. He didn't care who got up with the ball then. You know what I mean? It was all about I'm going to do what's best for the team. And then once he saw it was the same team, all right, cool, let's go. Let's keep rocking. You know what I mean? We got the ball. We got the ball. It don't have to be me. I love that. He could have still tried to hold on to it, but he was fighting with that ball on the ground. And we didn't see that last year. How many fumbles did the Niners not recover last year? You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, it was happening all the time. We didn't see that. There's stuff that's happening here this season, and that was part of it, man. I like Moore a lot. I really, really do. But unfortunately, like I said, I made this 2 weeks ago and didn't have him making it. So, all right. We're going to go to linebackers next?
Yeah, I want to know what you guys have so far, like, on your roster. So count them up so we know what you guys have.
I've got 34.
And I have 35.
Are y'all sure y'all counting right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because remember some of it.
10 defensive linemen, 9 offensive linemen, That's 19.
27.
3 tight ends, that's 22.
33.
7 receivers, that's 29.
I
Fullback,
got 30 so far.
30. And then 3 running backs, 2 quarterbacks. That's 35.
I got 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs. That's 7. 7 wide receivers. That's 14. I have 3 tight ends. That's 17. 2 tackles. 19. 4 guards. 23. 1 center. 24. I looked at cornerbacks. We went out of order for defense. Okay. And then defensive lineman is all we did on defense. That's why. And I have 9 of those. So I'm at 33. My bad. That's why I was like, how do y'all have this? I got 2 positions on my list before defensive lineman. I had to skip those. So when I was scrolling back up, I was like, what the hell? I got 12 more people than everybody. All right, my bad. All right, so yeah, I'm at 33 right now. So I'm at 33. Wayne, you at what?
36.
Nick, you're at?
35.
And then Anthony.
34.
I got the lowest amount. Hey, and then also one more quick note. When I did this, so what I did was I looked at the 90-man roster and I just wrote names down. I didn't count anything, right? When I was done, I was only at 51. I had to go back and look for 2 people to add when I did this. So this is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun for me. So, all right, what do you want to do next? You guys want to do linebackers?
Yeah,
Let's do linebackers.
I want to take that one first because I think mine will kind of talk you guys a little bit. Maybe not too much, but
I got the most surprised one. I got the most surprised set of linebackers.
Okay, so I got 6. But here we go. Quan Alexander, Fred Warner, Malcolm Smith, our boy Dre Greenlaw, David Mayo, sadly, because I think he's brought Coyle 2.0. And lastly, I got to go with Aziz Shire. Dude, I really, really loved what I saw from his first preseason game. That guy was playing like he didn't even have a torn ACL in college. And that was the only reason why he fell on draft day was because of an ACL. He would have been a 5th-round pick, 6th-round pick. And, I get that's not much. But when you're assessing a value on a guy, you got to understand that some teams like us covet those late-round picks more than anything. And so to get Shire as an UDFA and to see how he's playing already is that dog mentality. Now, I believe he would be fighting for the backup position with Elijah Lee. And, Elijah Lee does have more playing time on Shire. But, God, what I saw from Shire was just spectacular in that first game alone. He looked like he was a seasoned veteran out there making plays, hustling after the ball, hustling after ball carriers, just like Dre Greenlaw. And, a lot of people say that Shire is a dark horse to make the team. Well, I don't think he's a dark horse to make the team. I think he's just going to make the team. Because the one thing our team went after this offseason, draft day and free agency, was playmakers.
Yep.
Quan Alexander, Jason Barrett, D. Ford, drafting guys like Nick Bosa, Dre Greenlaw, Aziz Shire. And I think Shire is exactly what he is. He is a playmaking linebacker who, just like Dre Greenlaw, will hunt for the ball. So Shire is definitely a roster lock on this team. I believe it. I definitely believe it.
Yeah. Shit, Anthony. You got
Good
6
job.
of them. You have the special teams ace Martin is out to not making it. And you don't have Malcolm Smith either.
No, he had Malcolm
No,
Smith.
I had Malcolm Smith.
Yeah.
Did you have David Mayo?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had
Alexander, Warner, Smith, Shire, Greenlaw, and Mayo. 6.
Oh, you didn't have Lee. I thought you didn't have Lee, but then I heard you saying that Lee and Shire were bad. Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay.
Shire beats out.
I was saying I think Shire will take Lee's backup spot.
Yeah, okay, I got you. My apologies. All right, Wayne, how many you got and who are they?
I got 5. I got Fred Warner, Quan Alexander, Malcolm Smith, Dre Greenlaw, and Elijah Lee. Yeah, those are my 5.
Warner, Alexander, Greenlaw, Smith, and Lee. Okay. All right. So I mean, there's not many surprises there except the Martin is out thing again. The special teams gunner, special teams ace. So okay. All right. I like that. I mean, we'll see. What you got, Nick?
I got Warner, Alexander, Greenlaw, Lee, and Alshire. 5 of them.
5.
Y'all are all hating. Y'all. So nobody cares about special teams. Is that what I'm gathering here?
Yeah, these guys.
Elijah Lee plays special teams.
We have
Exactly.
Raheem
Aziz,
Mostert and
Aziz
David Mayo.
Al-Shaair played special teams. Dre Greenlaw plays special teams.
Exactly. They better play special teams. Their first
And
year,
Mike, you know how
especially
big I
Greenlaw,
was
this is his
on.
first year. He better.
You know how big I was on David Mayo because he's a really good special teams player. But what I seen from Aziz, I can't give that up. Elijah Lee has started to play better. Malcolm Smith is replaceable by any of those two, and Dre Greenlaw. And Mark Njoko is replaceable by an Elijah Lee or an Aziz on special teams.
Right.
All right. And you had 5 or 6?
I had 5.
You had 5.
I had 6.
All right, Anthony, I'm with you, man. I got 6 of them here. I got Fred Warner, Elijah Lee, Dre Greenlaw, Juan Alexander, Aziz Al-Shaair, and David Mayo as my 6th guy. I also did not have Martin Al-Shaair on the team.
Wait, didn't you call David Mayo a what too before?
What did I called him a special teams guy?
No, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, I know you ain't gonna catch me slipping. I ain't gonna be on that ledge by myself tonight, no sir. I got no. I went back and I looked at some tape of this guy and I saw how he was when he was actually in the game in place of Luke Kuechly and in place of Davis. And the guy can actually play pretty good. He reminded me a lot of what's the dude's name that had the huge biceps for us. He wasn't a good starter. He was a good filling guy. Oh, what was the linebacker? He was huge. He played next to
Coyle?
Who?
I wasn't Coyle. It was before Coyle. I know who it is. I just can't think of his name.
It was Mike something. Mike.
Will Hart?
Yes, Michael.
Michael Wilhoit. Oh
Michael
my
Wilhoit.
God, that dude's biceps were the size of my body.
Yeah, that's who it was. David Mayo, his play, he seems a little bit more instinctive than Michael Wilhoit, though. So he wasn't a liability out there. He just wasn't anything to like write home about, and so that's who he reminded me of. He reminded me of Michael Wilhoit's play.
Yeah, and if you guys remember when we first signed him, I talked about how he filled in for Luke Kuechly and played well. He was like a Brock Coyle type of linebacker, where he's not a liability being out there, but he's not a superstar either.
Right. So he was a good dude. I like what I saw. So I got him making it. And I honestly, now that I think about it, I don't remember him on the field. Not that he didn't do it, but he didn't stand out to me. I have to go back and watch the preseason game again to see what I thought of him. I like that Anthony has Aziz making the roster after the postseason game. I mean, after the preseason game, I had him on here without seeing the game. So that was part of my original list. So that's good. I'm glad you guys are coming around on it. We're gonna be all right, man. We're gonna be all right.
The only thing they do, and I see this comment by Tim Duncan, I just want to touch on that. The only two that those both need to work on is their coverage skills.
Agreed.
It's not so much their coverage skills, but recognizing when it's play action.
It's play action.
Greenlaw really got screwed up like 2 or 3 times in the game from that, and so did Aziz. They bit too much. Like they definitely bit too much, but that's just things that they have to learn. And now that they saw it, they might be able to recognize it more. But other than that, man, those are beasts.
I didn't write down. Now again, this was me watching the game the first time through. I had Elijah Lee and Greenlaw biting hard on the play action fakes. I didn't make that note for Aziz. So he might have, and I just maybe didn't catch it. But I know that Greenlaw and Lee bit hard on the play. Like they pursued the running back 3-4 yards beyond their mark, and then they turned around and it was like, oh no, bro, it's too late now. You over pursued that one. So, but yeah, man, these guys aren't finished products, guys. They're going to get better. And if that's the only thing you got to work on, you're ahead of the curve. That's a really, really good thing there. Let's keep it moving because we're dragging this out here. We're almost done. You guys want to do safeties? You want to individualize the safeties?
Let's go safeties.
All right.
I got 5 of them. I got Jimmy Ward. I got Tart. I got Colbert, Harris, and Reed.
Wow. You have 5, and you named 3 guys that I don't have.
Wow.
Name your guys again.
Everybody's in camp. Wow. I got Ward, Tart, Colbert, Harris, and Reed. Is one of those positions off?
Oh no, you're good. I know what I did different. Okay, you're good. Good stuff. You got 5 of them. Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I got 5 also.
Yes.
I got Tart, Harris, Ward, Colbert, and Mosley.
Oh,
You got Mosley as a safety?
that's what he played.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what he's playing.
No, he's not.
Mostly
he's
played
playing-
nickel corner.
he played
He
nickel,
played nickel and outside corner.
for Quan. That's right. He played nickel.
Oh, that's why, because I got him Moore and him mixed up.
Okay.
So-
Moore. You meant Moore, not Mosley. Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay.
Moore playing safety, so yes.
All right. Okay. I'm with you now. Okay. Anthony, how many you got?
God, you guys are making me redo this at the last second.
I'll go. Hold it. I'll go.
Just stick with my list. I'm gonna stick with my list. Tart. I only got 4, by the way, just 4. Tart, Tavarius Moore, Jimmy Ward, and Adrian Colbert. Those are my 4.
Wow. No Reed?
You know, I truly feel like safety isn't as bad as a lot of people make it. And the reason why I have Ward here is because we know Ward's flexibility. He can play strong safety in a pinch. He can play nickel corner in a pinch. He can play outside corner in a pinch. Obviously, he's a natural free safety. Tart is, my primary strong safety. Like I said, Ward can pretty much back him up, although I don't want to see it. I want to see Tavarius Moore be the starter because he is arguably the best playmaking free safety we have on this team, who shouldn't have never even been moved to corner to begin with. And lastly, I got to go with Adrian Colbert because I do think Shanahan and Saleh really believe in him and really believe in what he has to offer. And I think that ejection that he had in the first preseason game was an aberration of what should have been. And that is today's NFL, sadly. But with that being said, I think Colbert's fully healthy. Colbert looks like he's ready to go. And I think we can roll with 4 safeties because we got guys like DJ Reed who can also play safety if he has to, which he did previously. So I think we're better off just carrying 4 safeties and having more natural cornerbacks, I want to say.
So I should take DJ Reed off my safety list and put him as cornerback?
I have him listed as corner.
Yeah, because he's playing corner now. But this is my question to you, Anthony, is who's backing up Jaquiski Tart in the box?
Should be Colbert, right?
I had to roll with Jimmy Ward. That's the thing. I know you don't like it, and I don't like it. But at the same time, I'd much rather have Jimmy Ward and carry 4 safeties and carry more cornerbacks than safeties because right now we need I know we need more secondary depth, period. But when I was making my list, I felt like cornerbacks was more of a priority than safety.
Yeah, but has Ward ever played box safety?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
He is?
Yeah, Ward was box with I think it was O'Neal, the year O'Neal was here. He was down in the box also. That same year that they had Eric Reed playing linebacker, I believe it was. We were super thin back there, and they put him in there a couple of times. He's played nickel and
I don't remember him playing there. I just remember Reed, and I don't remember who went in when Reed was playing linebacker that one game.
Yeah.
Or 2 games that he played, whatever he played it. But that's all right. But that was my question, is just to because I didn't see who you were going to have backing up Jaquiski Tart if he went down as a box safety.
I didn't put Marcel Harris on my list because I felt like even this preseason he's still biting on play action, and he's a good box safety. I feel like he's a good hitter, but this guy needs to get play recognition down. And I know that Ward hasn't played in so long, but I feel like Ward is going to recognize better than Harris, even if Ward isn't playing strong safety. I just feel like Ward has a smarter idea of what it means to be a strong safety over Marcel Harris.
I always thought Ward was a free safety. I'm all jacked up.
Yeah,
right.
I don't ever remember him playing. I remember him playing corner. I remember him playing nickel, and I remember playing a free safety. I never remember playing that close to the line, a scrimmage as a strong safety. I really don't remember it. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I do because, I'm just being honest. I really never remember him playing strong safety ever.
Okay.
But he's never healthy either, so it could have happened for 3 plays, and then he was out, and You know, so I mean, I'm not saying that you guys are wrong or right. I don't really remember that ever.
I think lastly, I think Jimmy Ward is like on the same boat as Josh Garnett. It's like, both of these guys can do what they have to do with their position, but they just have to stay healthy. And I'm going off of Ward hopefully being healthy.
Yo, I made a bold prediction this year on Twitter, and my bold prediction was, it was actually a stupid prediction. It was like people were sending me gifts like, did you hit your head? That Jimmy Ward stays healthy this year and balls out.
I remember that.
That's the boldest prediction I can make for the Niners this year. That's even bolder than saying that we're going to the Super Bowl, bro. That's bolder than that.
That's all the way bold. That's uppercase bold.
All right. I'm not messing with y'all. I have 4 safeties making it. I have Tavarius Moore, Jaquiski Tart, Marcel Harris, and Adrian Colbert as my 4 guys here. Everybody's been explained. What was that?
You don't have Ward.
I don't have Ward as a safety.
He's got him listed as a corner.
He's listed as a corner.
No. He has.
I have him listed as a corner
because he wants him to play. He likes him best in the nickel spot.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
Right. When we get to cornerbacks, I'll have him listed over there, and we'll do that next, and I'll kick that one off here. I have 7 corners making the roster. I have Ahkello Witherspoon, Jason Verrett, Richard Sherman, Emmanuel Mosley, Quan Williams, DJ Reed, and Jimmy Ward. Those are my 7 corners I have making this roster here. So
wait, you said Witherspoon, Sherman,
Verrett, Mosley, Quan Williams, DJ Reed, and Jimmy Ward.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get
I think the only surprise here, I mean, you guys got to see the game though, but I was hoping that Emmanuel Mosley would be a surprise to people, but you guys saw the kid can play. Emmanuel Mosley is good, and he's versatile. He played outside and slot in the same game, and he did pretty good. The couple of catches that he did allow, there weren't any yak afterwards. He's a physical guy. He makes sure he wraps up, and he's a good tackler. We know about Quan Williams in the slot. He's a physical presence down there. DJ Reed, I didn't have him as a safety. I understand why Wayne was a little confused because last year we had Moore as a corner and DJ Reed as a safety. This year they put them back to their natural positions, and so that's why I'm doing it the way. Again, I'm doing all this based off of how I think they're going to see it. And so I have him back over here with the cornerbacks, and then Jimmy Ward. If you guys have been watching this show for any amount of time, you will know that I have said and I stand on that Jimmy Ward should be a corner, preferably a nickel corner. So that's where I got my guy making the roster here.
All right, you want me to go next?
Take it home.
All right, I only have 5. I have 5 corners, 5 safeties. So I got Ahkello Witherspoon, Richard Sherman, Quan Williams, Jason Verrett, and this is where it was hard for me. Between DJ Reed and Emmanuel Mosley. But I think DJ Reed has more upside than Emmanuel Mosley right now. So I'm keeping DJ Reed. Those are my 5. Obviously, Jason Verrett, you're keeping whether, I think this team's really excited. I think they're like play it by ear type of thing on him. Emmanuel Mosley didn't do anything wrong. It was really, really tight for me to pick those 2 because I like Emmanuel Mosley. Plus, I just like him as a dude. You know what I mean? His play is good. But DJ Reed, man, I just see something special in this kid. I really see something special in him. And going back to his natural position, I just feel like he's like ready to rock. So I picked DJ Reed.
All right, so I got 6 corners, and real quick, I got to agree with Nick on DJ Reed because my second article for Nothing But Niners, I broke down our draft day. DJ Reed was my longest explanation, and he was arguably my favorite breakdown because he is such a feisty and physical corner, and he will literally match up with guys who are 6'2" and 6'3". He's like the cornerback version of Trent Taylor. With that being said, 6 corners, Richard Sherman, Ahkello Witherspoon, Jason Barrett, Emmanuel Mosley, DJ Reed, Dante Johnson. No, I'm kidding. Just want to mess with you guys. Just messing with you guys. Sorry, I wanted to slip that in there because everyone loves Dante Johnson.
And that, my friends, will include our show today. No, just
No, okay, guys, I'm sorry. No, K'Wan Williams, not Dante Johnson. One of the biggest things that I did with my defensive side of the 53 is secondary depth. I sacrificed one D lineman for an extra corner, and I think it's absolutely worth it because outside of Sherman, we don't know if we have consistency with Spoon. We don't know how Verrett is because he hasn't played in so long. We do need to see more from Mosley, although he does have great corner mentality. He is very physical. He can match up with the rest of the guys. And like Nick said, he did give up a couple of catches, but he gave up almost no yak. The guy, if anything, he lets a guy go and he's a chase down artist. He will catch up to his man. I like K1, and I think he's Salah's favorite. I think he's an overall defensive favorite because he's a very good slot and nickel corner who can kind of do it all. Albeit, I do want to see him healthy too, because he's had a lingering knee issue that we don't know what's really going on with because I felt like the team has kept it relatively quiet. So he could be ready week 1. He might not be. We have to see. And, of course, my guy, DJ Reed. Very impressive player, very impressive prospect coming out of college. I think he offers a lot as a corner. And, a lot of his game tape in college was at outside corner. And the Niners moved him to safety. I didn't like it at all, just like with Moore. So they put him back to corner, and he's a dog at slot corner. He's a dog at nickel also, and he can play the spot. He can play the position. And I think DJ Reed is going to be one of our better cornerbacks. But like I said, for this whole list, I wanted 6 corners and 4 safeties because we absolutely need the depth at the position. Secondary health has been a main concern for the past 3 years, ever since Shanahan came in, even longer than that. So having more bodies is better. And I do think all of these guys I listed are capable. It's just outside of Sherman, man, we got to see if these guys really have it. Because I love the names, but I really want to see the players on the field making that name for themselves overall. So I had to roll with 6 corners. Not Dante Johnson. I just wanted to throw – sorry.
bro, that's like saying keep Greg Maben.
Okay.
A lot of people like Greg Maben, bro. Greg Maben and Eklund were getting a lot of love after the game, man.
Bro, did you see the last drive that the Cowboys were driving down the
I got
field?
Sherman, Verrett, Witherspoon, K1, and I put Reed in this category because he's not a safety. So I got 5. You guys already mentioned why. No explanation for Sherman, no explanation for Verrett, no explanation for Witherspoon. I do believe Witherspoon will be battling Verrett for that opposite side of Sherman, but I like the depth. K1, I believe he's injured right now. So now you can slide DJ Reed over into that nickel position to be. So I got 5 cornerbacks.
All right. I like it, man. And we can wrap this last section up here.
Before we go, I'm guessing everybody put Tim Harris on the practice squad.
I just didn't have him making it. They want to put him on the practice squad, and that's cool. I just didn't have him making it. I did not put together my 10 practice squad players for this exercise. But but the flip side of it is I did have skill making the practice squad.
Right. That's why I asked, because I remember you said that, so I wasn't
right.
sure.
I only kept 2 tackles, and in real life you have to have a backup tackle somewhere, and so that's why I did it that way. But so I get why you asked that. Did you guys do practice squads or no?
I didn't do a practice squad, but we got 3 more picks.
Right. We have punter, kicker, and long snapper. We can do them all together. I have Mitch Wisnowski, Robbie Gould, and Colin Oba as my 3 guys.
Yeah. That's the same 3 I have because
Cal
Nelson.
Is he suspended for first 4 games?
6.
It's 6 games. Yeah.
6 games.
Sorry, Nick. I can't hear you again. You disappeared and now I can't hear you. All right. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, he's
So I
gone
see-
for 6 games. And you know what's weird about that is that they extended him. They extended him at the end of the season.
After the suspension.
No, it was after. So
Yeah.
I don't understand why the hell they did that. I mean, but to start the season with the 53, I got Colin Hoba in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are
It's
long
the same thing.
snappers practice squad eligible? Holba might make the practice squad. Screw it.
He actually might. He might, right? Because no, because he was with us last year. I think. How many games is it? Is it 8 games or is it
You need 2 full seasons as an NFL player until you're
Yeah.
done with practice squad.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 full accrued seasons.
accrue? Okay, and an accrued season is what, 6 games, right?
8 games.
8.
Oh, so he's good. Richie James might be practice squad eligible then, right?
He is.
Yep.
Oh,
So is Kendrick Bourne.
all right. I got
Yeah,
some.
Bourne hasn't reached a total limit yet. He's eligible. Half our
Well-
team is eligible. All these guys
Oh,
are
Richie- no, I don't think Kendrick Bourne is eligible. He was active all 16 games last year.
Yeah, but he didn't play. He didn't have the accrued season.
If you're active, it counts. It's not about how many snaps you take. It's if you're
No,
active.
I'm saying
Yeah,
the year
right.
before you have to have 2 accrued seasons.
And you just said that an accrued season is 8 games. He did 16. That's 2 seasons.
Oh yeah, true. I think he's eligible though.
It'd be interesting. I'm not sure, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't know. I was just saying that based off of what you guys just told me. I don't know. What 3 specialists do you guys have? Kicker, punter, and long snapper.
I have Kyle Nelson as my long snapper, but I didn't realize he was out for 6 games. But I guarantee you, when he get back, he will be the long snapper,
He's also a tight end too. So,
and he's also a tight end. Yep.
and Anthony, what about you, man?
I do have to roll with the guy they have currently in Holba. And, obviously we're not going to go long snapper news for long, but I do think Holba will stay the long snapper for the whole season. And I do say that because he's going to have continuity. He's going to have activity in NFL games played. He's going to be, active in doing the job, whereas Nelson's been out for some time. And, you can say it with all players. It's one thing to practice with your guys, but it's another thing to actually do it out there on the field. So I think that Holba will hold the job. And we've seen it with this team where they've extended guys, but they've cut them like Gary Gilliam. They've extended guys and cut them. So I wouldn't take the Nelson extension into too much of heart. Maybe they do keep him, but in my opinion, I think they keep Holba just because I believe he's younger, and I think they're just going to roll with him the whole season.
And I did hear them mention continuity between the snapper and long holder. And with this being Wisnowski in particular, his first season holding for gold, I do know that was something that they were talking about. So you got a point there. We'll see what happens, man. All right, Nick, take it away, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. 3: Robbie Gould, Wisnowski, Colin Holba. The only reason I think Holba, obviously, he's there right now, and then Kyle Nelson comes back. Holba is available to go to the practice squad. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter and Snapchat at NothingBut9ERS, as you see on the screen here, and Instagram and Facebook at NothingBut9ers, all spelled out. That's the spaces as well. Hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you set your bell for notifications so that when we go live. And other than that, I don't have anything else. Check us out, www.nothingbutniners.com. Right there. You guys see it down there on the screen. And, Mike, that's all I got, man. Thanks for joining in tonight, guys.
Yeah, man. I had a good time, man. Anthony, Wayne, you guys were awesome, man. I absolutely enjoyed it, man. I really, really did.
That was fun, man.
That's it. Let's get up out of here. Prepare for glory,
Anticipate pain.
but always remain faithful.
Peace.
We out of here.
Peace. Good.